welcome to our podcast. This is the last one. I saved the very best for last for our Profit Like It's Hot summer webinar. I am thrilled to have Amanda Pritchard here, and Amanda is our great friend at Vaccine Connect. Now, just a small note, if you have any questions as Amanda and I are talking, pop them in the chat and I will ask her live. We'll put her on the hot spot as we go through.
I didn't know we were doing. I didn't know we were doing speed round questioning. That's kind of an interesting twist on this. Let's do it. So
Yeah, that's a great surprise for you. Although our members are so dang smart, and our folks that join, even if you're not a
that's
member.
what
Although
scares me, right?
if you are not a member, start at the $100 level, get the newsletter, and as the $100 member, you get to join our office hours. You get our library of member-only discounts as well. It's really a no-brainer. The discounts themselves will pay for your $100 a month. So if you want more information about that, you want to see some samples, email me, Heather at DiversifyRx.com. And I will give you my special link to sign up for the $100 and get literally, we are building a library of discounts for members only. On that note, also, I would be remiss, you guys know I talk about it every time, the summit's coming up. Get your tickets now before the price goes up. Members, use your link inside the portal. If you're not a member, we're still friends. We still love you. We still want to see your smiling face there. Go to pharmacyprofitsummit.com. We have too many P's and everything. Pharmacyprofitsummit.com and get your tickets. So I think I got all of my disclaimers out of the way. Again, if you have questions for Amanda as we go, just pop them in the chat. Amanda, thank you so much for being with us. Tell us a little who you are, what you do, the awesomeness that you create for pharmacies.
Well, I can tell you right now, working with Vaccine Connect is going to get you that $100 a month, easy to pay for your diversified.
We love that.
I know. Well, and I love your team because you bring so much value and so much profit to their bottom lines. Our missions are aligned because that's what I do over here at Vaccine Connect. So many of you have already joined, and I'm thrilled. We've got about 1,200 independent pharmacies across the US that are members of Vaccine Connect now, and we're looking to increase that exponentially because bottom line, there is no reason any pharmacy in the US should not be a member of Vaccine Connect. It is free. It costs you nothing, right? It is easy to sign up. And so what it is we are a vaccine buying group. We were born out of the physician clinics. I used to run physician clinics and I figured out how the vaccine industry worked. And so I created my own buying group back in 2016. But then we went through COVID. All these vaccines were moving to the pharmacy, not just the flu, but the COVID, Tdap, but then Shingrix and everything else started moving to the pharmacies. And I realized the pharmacies did not have the amount of discounts that the physicians were getting. So about 2 years ago, I said, this has got to change. I started working with all of my manufacturer partners to get pharmacy specific contracts to where your vaccine prices started to be equal or lower than physician clinics. And then they started paying me marketing fees that I turn around and I give back to the pharmacies on a semi-annual basis. And so last year we did our first big distribution to pharmacies in the spring and gave out over $50,000 to pharmacies that have been buying on our programs. And we're about to do it again in late September, October. We do it twice a year. And those for our vaccines, they're flu, they're COVID, but it's also RSV, it's pneumococcal, it's Shingrix, which I know almost every pharmacy out there is giving. And so it costs the pharmacy nothing. You know, your prices go down, you get money back. This money is not going through your PBM. It's not going through anybody else. It's from me directly back to you every 6 months. So, and that's what I love.
Fantastic.
I know. I love to spread the word. So
I know. I remember having a conversation with you when you sent out that first check, and you were over the moon. You and your husband both were completely over the moon at
No.
just the notion of being able to give cash. There's no strings attached. There's no um uh it's a credit towards
It's not a
buying more.
credit. Exactly.
It's
No.
cash. It is
It,
cash back to you. So not only are our pharmacy friends saving by getting those lower, or it's group pricing, so lower group pricing, they get cash back. Seems like an absolute no-brainer. Okay, so the webinar's done.
well, okay. So, but here, okay. So the money part is awesome, right? Okay. So
Right.
you get, your invoice prices go down. You can stack discounts. Like I give you a discount off of WAC, but Cardinal may be giving you a cost minus. Those discounts stack on top of each other to really look at some savings. So you're getting discounts that are stackable. You are getting a reward. But the best thing is that you have me in your back pocket. All right. I cannot tell you how many calls I get a day of like, Amanda, I don't understand about my returns. How do I make my flu or COVID returns? The recommendations have changed this year. Who am I giving this vaccine to? Amanda, where do I order? Like you can call, our hours are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, but my cell phone is on every email that I send out. And so
Yeah.
like you call me day, night, weekend and ask me the questions that you are too busy to keep in your brain. You've got to keep everything else in your brain. Just all you have to keep in your brain is my phone number or my email address and ask me every question, like to be your vaccine resource for your pharmacy. Like, cause that is what I love to do. And so it's the invoice price, it's the rebate, but it's also being the resource for your pharmacy because you're doing a lot of things every day.
Yeah, it's really having an advocate in the pharmacy or in the vaccine space in your pharmacy. So
Right.
Amanda becomes your boxer. She goes out and boxes with these companies, and I've gotten off calls with her where she's talking to even straight to the manufacturers, straight to the wholesalers, really going to bat for you, and I absolutely love that.
Right.
So after we've signed up and you are our vaccine advocate and we are working with you, we're part of your buying group, what happens then? Take me through after I sign on the dotted line, how we roll this out and how we walk it through.
So you sign up for your free membership and you're opting into our programs. And so then what I do, I let the manufacturers know. And the manufacturers then go to the wholesalers and say, this pharmacy is part of Vaccine Connect. You need to apply those discounts at Cardinal, at Cencora, at FFF. But that part doesn't always happen. So me and my team, we get on the horn and we're making sure all the connections are made. So you are getting that price that I told you that you were going to get. It is showing up in your account. So then you start buying and you can engage with me as much as you want. You can email me every day or you can email me never, but you're going to hear from me on a fairly regular basis about things such as price changes, indication changes, approvals. Like everyone's going to hear from me in the next 24 hours because the COVID vaccine was just approved in the last hour by RFK and the FDA. Okay.
Very
So
cool.
that is a big change. That is part of what's coming, not change. That is a big milestone for this fall. So COVID vaccine for 25-26 was approved at 12:30 today.
Wow.
And it's going to be in, it's going to take a couple days to get it into the supply chain, but then by next week, pharmacies are going to start receiving it so they can give out. But here's the deal, like the indications have changed from the past years. So my pharmacy members are going to hear from me of like, here's what's changed. Here's what you need to be looking for. Here's who you can give it to. Here are the products that are available. And so I keep you up to date as much as possible on on all of the vaccines, right? So
Right.
newsletters from me. I host webinars if things are hot topics, if big changes have been made, whatever we need to talk about, I'll host webinars. You're going to see me, in Dallas in March. But you're
Yep.
going to see me at some of the state advocacy conferences. I'm just going to be around. If you need
Yeah.
me, I'm here, right? But if you
Right.
don't need me, that's fine. That's cool. That's totally cool. So
Right. Well, no, and I can attest to your availability through phone and text message. We talk quite often, and you are super duper responsive. You're always there. You never answer the phone like you're annoyed with me, like my husband does. So you're like step one for you or brownie point for you. No, Amanda really is lovely to work with. So let me ask you, because I feel like this may be a question. Is there any retribution from the wholesalers after they become a member of yours? Are they not happy that this is happening? Tell me what that looks like.
so the wholesalers want your business. Okay. They want you to buy vaccine through them. And so you will okay, it is my perception that you will not feel any retribution from them because they know that you have options. Okay. So everybody needs to have primary and secondary places where they have set up accounts. They know where their cost minus is. They know what vaccine buying group contracts are applied to their accounts and that they can go and buy in other places. It's like having safety nets. You don't usually just shop only at one grocery store. I mean, you can price check eggs, milk, whatever, bread, whatever you need at a couple of different grocery stores around you.
Sure, sure,
Other
sure.
places want your business. And so you know, we have contacts at all of the wholesalers, excuse me, and they want to work with us. They are happy to apply your pricing when I email them and say this account needs this contract. And so I guess I've never been asked that question because I've never really seen it.
Okay, all right. Absolutely fair enough. That's the best we could hope for, right? Is that just
So,
nothing happens. There,
exactly.
everybody's happy.
There may be other buying groups out there, and so you may say, Amanda, why are y'all different? I mean, I'm aware that there are other buying groups out there, but we are the only vaccine focused one, right? We're not going to try to find you. You've got great options if you're looking at discounts for other OTC meds or for other, retail supplies that go in. Like, I am thrilled for you. I am your vaccine buying group.
Right,
I
right.
am
You're hyper focused.
I'm going really deep with all of the vaccine indications and the pricing and the wholesalers and the supply chain. All don't ask me about the science of it, please. That is
Right.
not, but if you want to ask about procurement of vaccines, I mean, I think even, my dog could probably tell you like how to do this because yeah, I'm on the phone all day long with pharmacy members. So
I love that. I love that. Well, and another reason that I think you're fantastic is you're also a strategist. So you're going to share with us three strategies. Or yeah,
yeah.
okay,
Well, I can go on. You tell me it's like the
yeah.
mother, you're
So
gonna pull me off with a hook, right?
yeah, no, no, no. So I would love for you to share because I truly do think that it's a no-brainer and you've grown pretty fast. Those 1,200 pharmacy members came on fast without hiccups, by the way. You didn't overextend yourself. You scaled very nicely where everybody was getting the same treatment. You've done an excellent job of that. But you also give pharmacists strategies to be able to get the patients in to get the so break down those three strategies. I love them.
Okay, so here's all right. I like to say the flunami is coming. All right,
Okay.
so the flunami of people needing flu vaccines, and then the people who didn't get the flu vaccines getting the flu. Right, so you need to be prepared because they're coming into your pharmacy, and you already know this. Okay, so you're going to hear big box retailers saying flu plus one or flu plus two when they come for vaccines, but we like to change it up a little bit over here. We like to say flu plus due, DUE. Like, what is somebody due for, right? We want to tell them we are the pharmacist. I say we because I like to identify myself as a pharmacist, even though I am not a pharmacist. Like, we
Right.
like to build trust with that customer and give them the skinny about what is due. And this year, the age 50 is a huge flag that you need to train your whole staff to look for. If somebody is 50 or older coming into your pharmacy and asking for a flu vaccine, there are other things that they are due for. Okay, are you ready? All right,
Yep.
everybody knows about Shingrix. Okay, that is the shingles vaccine. It is 2 doses, 2 months apart. Okay, so if somebody comes in for a flu, ask them if they've had a Shingrix. Okay, and then because that's a twofer, right, that you're going to get
Right.
this fall. All right, if they come in and they are 50 years old, they're also due for a pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine. There are 2 on the market. One is Merck's Capvaxive, and that's 21 valent. And then the other one is Pfizer's Prevnar 20, which is 20 valent. Okay. Both of them are recommended ages 50 and above. Both of them, you just need one, and both of them are reimbursed incredibly well. Incredibly well. I mean, we're talking probably close to $100 or more is the net margin that you can get on a pneumococcal vaccine. Everybody over the age of 50 needs one. And if you're over the age of 65 and you've had an earlier version of the vaccine and you may be at higher risk of pneumonia, you can get a second one. So I highly recommend talking about Shingrix, talking about pneumococcal. All right. We already talked about COVID. The new recommendation as of 2 hours ago was for everybody 65 and above. It's recommended to get a COVID vaccine. Anyone under 65, if the pharmacist, the healthcare provider, whoever deems them at high risk, they need to be receiving a COVID vaccine. Okay, so that's an option for you as well. The other option is RSV vaccine. And so if you are 50 to 64 and you have a chronic illness, liver disease, heart disease, obesity, if you live in a nursing home, whatever it might be, you are eligible to get an RSV vaccine. Right now, it's a 1 lifetime dose. But if you can get a flu plus any of those that are due, flu plus 2, that is important for the patient, but it's also good for your body. Okay.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right. And I think patients appreciate the, hey, you're here for this, but did you know these? Um some people feel that it might be pushing it onto them, but I know that when I go in and someone says, hey, you need to do this, I'm happy to just get it all done at one time.
yeah, they're due for it,
Get
or
out of
you're
the way. Yeah.
overdue. Right,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
You're
Right.
overdue for it. So, and if they're willing to take a flu vaccine from you, they're willing to do more vaccines. I can just tell
Right.
you that right now.
Right.
And if you're telling them, you're helping them keep up with their healthcare, right? Of like, this is what's due. It's not, do you want this? It's like, hey, like
This is
this is.
due. Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean,
In sales speak, we call that assume the sale. So you're asking that, or you're, I don't know if anybody knows this term, folks in the military would, but it's being voluntold almost. So you're not forcing them to by any means. However, you're just saying this is due, not,
right.
hey, this is due, have a little bit of confidence. And Amanda could definitely talk to your staff and help them with talking points as well if you needed that.
Well, I mean, and even if they're coming in, they're telling their first grandbaby is going to be born in a month, right?
Yes.
I mean, you need to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here because you need a Tdap, you need a pertussis protection for you and for that grandbaby. And
Yep.
that's like very, I mean, I had pertussis when I was a baby because my grandparents did not get protected. And so like, it is something, it's very real that those grandparents, any caregivers need to be protected. That's year round. I'm sure your
Yep.
members are very savvy in doing that, but there's just so many ways to really involve that vaccination conversation. It's a robust and profitable vaccine program in your pharmacy. You are not a charity. You're not doing these vaccines for free, right? Do not.
Right.
So if you're getting people to take them, make sure you're working with me to make sure you're getting the best price too, because you got to look at both sides.
Right. 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 That's fantastic. What's another strategy for us? Or was
Uh,
that all three of them?
no. Okay, so
Okay.
all
Okay.
right. So the next thing is you want to make you as the pharmacist in charge, you are not the only person in charge of your vaccine program. You have got to surround sound that patient or everybody that's walking in the door of like, with the vaccine conversation. Have you been vaccinated? Do you need, would you like to do this today? Or, hey, we're doing a clinic, and tomorrow, why don't you come back? You're y'all know this better than me. It's like you see these patients at least once a month. Their PCP may see them once a year. You're seeing them once a month. And so the physicians are counting on the pharmacies to do a lot of these vaccines, right? Because they're not having them in their office. Pharmacists are the only ones that can bill Medicare Part D, right? The physicians are not doing that, and they're writing the script and they're sending them out. So like it's incumbent on you to do these vaccines, but it's incumbent on the pharmacy. So make sure you're training your staff, you're telling them your expectations. They know what's in your fridge, right? When they get questions, giving them enough information to be, to be knowledgeable about the vaccines, right?
Right. Well,
Okay.
that's fantastic. Do you have any strategies or knowledge for us on talking to doctors that may see a lot of elderly patients that we really need to work with? Have you seen anything just work super duper well with the other pharmacies in doctor detailing immunizations specifically?
If like getting the message out to the doctors around your
Yeah, to really partner with them as opposed to casually letting it know, to really work out a plan with those pharmacists. Or doctors' offices,
those
excuse me. Have
doctors.
you seen anything like really just cut through the mud and work really good with any of your pharmacies?
So Heather, next time I come on, I'm going to talk about that because I'm going to do some
Okay,
and I'm going to
okay,
give really great strategies to come back and be like, okay, you should see what Tomahawk Pharmacy is doing, or you should see what Care Plus Pharmacy is doing, because I've seen
right.
some great ones, but I don't want to. I want to make sure that I get it right, and then
I gotcha.
credit the right people for it. So
Yeah, we'll have to send out an email, a little video of you and an email and all of that fun stuff. So
okay.
does anybody have any questions? Am I missing anything? If you do, pop them in the chat now and I will.
Oh, pop them in the chat. But here's my third thing: make
Yes.
sure that you have more than one account of where to buy vaccines, right?
Okay.
Because there will be shortages from this place or this place, or one place will offer free shipping, or one place will offer 2% prompt pay if you pay within 60 days. Somebody else may offer a credit card, a payment option with a credit card with no fee. That, like, all the distributors do it a little different, and all pharmacies have a little bit different priorities. They may want the credit card points, or they may want the extended dating, or they may want the free shipping. So make sure that your strategy involves having a primary and maybe one or two secondaries that you buy vaccines from. And if you need help putting that together, yeah, call me. Like, because I know what they all offer, because I've negotiated for our members to get even better terms than what they would find. So
Right. That's fantastic. And Amanda has so graciously offered to our members a deep dive, an absolute deep dive into your vaccine program and how to work it, how to not work it. If she sees red flags, she'll let you know. If she sees you're doing great, she'll let you know. And then of course she'll give you her recommendations, which is working very well. I mean, quite honestly, we know that our industry is so small that when you get a bad rap, it goes on forever. And I have not heard one, not even one complaint about Miss Amanda, which says a lot. And I love that. I love that for the pharmacies that are doing well. Lisa uses it in her pharmacy and absolutely loves it. Is there anything else I'm missing?
well, if your members want to shoot me a quick email, we'll set up a free consult like in the next 10 days, right? Or like between this week and next week. They want to shoot me an email at amanda@vaconnect.com. Say, I heard her on Diversify. I want to schedule my private consult. Let's do it, right?
Yeah,
Because I
yep.
want to get on top of it sooner rather than later, before the flunami hits, which is my new favorite word. My kids think I'm ridiculous. Oh,
That's it. No, that's a fantastic word for it. I love it. We should have named this episode the Flunami. The Flunami is coming. Um, I love it. This is why we're not allowed to play together very often. We're silly. I just love this. Does anybody have any questions? I think you've explained it so beautifully today that there may not be. This might be a first of every single webinar I've ever done in my whole entire life, Amanda.
So they can email me at amanda@vaconnect.com. Instead of full
Yep.
vaccine, it's VAC and then the word connect.com. Or if you want to just join, you go to my website, top right button, it says join now. Click that, fill it out. You're going to hear from myself or Chip or AJ within an hour, and we'll get rolling. So
Yeah, the best part is there's nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by signing up with Amanda. It costs absolutely nothing, and you're going to be part of that cash back portion. Which who doesn't love cash?
exactly. Exactly.
Who
Although
doesn't love cash?
I don't look like Jennifer Gardner, but that's okay, right? Because I was gonna be like,
Yeah, it's better than a Capital One card. Okay, well, if we don't have any questions, I think you've hit all of our buttons. In our replay, I will have Amanda's information, a little recap of her 3 strategies, because she's right, the tsunami is coming, and also let me just say this: when you call Amanda for your deep dive, have your second in command, your top tech, have someone else on that call so you can immediately start that delegation process, or at least putting some of the responsibility on someone else to help you do this. I know delegation is hard. It's my biggest struggle in life is delegation. Um, so have your person or persons join that call with Amanda, and you can all learn at once instead of you holding the water trying to explain it. Well, I will listen, Amanda. Our goal is to be done in 30 minutes every time. I've designed these things to get the best information and get out of here. We have 3 minutes left. Thank you so much for coming on. We super appreciate you and all that you're doing for pharmacy. Again, this will all be in the replay. Join our membership now for $100. If you want to do that, email me and I will send you the code, and get your summit tickets. And so this was our last Profit Like It's Hot webinar. Our next session will start September 10th, and it is the Profit Playbook webinar series. We are going to deep dive into some really great playbooks, give you absolute strategies that you can start the second we get off the call. So thank you everybody for joining us. Have your 2 minutes back. I'll see you guys all September 10th. Bye-bye.
bye.